Hey guys, I just wanted to do a quick video on the Holistic Pet Grooming book by Daryl Connor and Mary Aquendo. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. Y'all, okay, my name's Janine Palmatier. I'm trying to fix the glare. See, there's Aquendo, I think is how you say it. So my name's Janine Palmatier. I have the most complicated name ever, and my name has been butchered my whole life, and I always try to say people's names correctly. So if you ever see me struggling with a name, or I'm like, oh, I don't know how to say it, it's because I don't want to butcher it, because I know how that is. Anyway, that's so beyond the point. But so I have some notes because I was like, I don't want to miss anything. I think this is a really great book. First of all, I should have looked at how much it costs. I don't think it was that much. I actually I got it off Barkley. Let's see. I'm gonna try to get this video as quick as I can because I have an electrician that should be here within the next 15 minutes. I'm hoping. I haven't heard from him, so I'm hoping I will hear something very soon. He's supposed to come and give me this is why I shouldn't rush. Okay, he's going to come out and give me a quote for my building because y'all know I want to build a grooming shop in there. It's a process, but I'm working on it and we're getting close. So anyway, Holistic Pet Grooming. So on the Barkley website, you can see it's $19.95. Which I think you get some pretty good information in here, so I'd say it's worth it. And it's a pretty quick read, so if you're not a big reader, this one's not too hard. Okay, so just quickly running through, I have each chapter on here just to get an idea of what you're going to be reading. So the first chapter really focuses on self-care, such as meditation, yoga, anything like that, having crystals and stuff like that in your shop. Nope, that's the next one, sorry. But yeah, so focusing on yourself is the first chapter. It talks about Jessica's affirmation in there. That's the little girl, and you remember she's on her little bathroom counter and she's like, I like my life, I like my friends, I like my family, or maybe she says love, but anyway, that little girl, and I thought that was really cute because that is the perspective we should have on life, because a lot of us have it a lot better than we'll give ourselves credit for. So there's that. The squeezing an orange, I feel like I just talked about that in a video, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but basically when you think about an orange, every time you squeeze it, you're going to get juice, right? And not every time, depending on how ripe the orange is or whatever, the juice is going to taste differently, right? So if you're having a sour day and you're in a sour mood, if somebody squeezes you like an orange, they're going to get sour negativity out of you. But if you're having a good day and they squeeze your orange, it sounds very not right, does it? But anyway, Peter Vaughn talks about this theory, and he was so just think about every day, when somebody is talking to you, they're squeezing your orange, and if you are in a bad mood, you're going to give them negativity, but if you're in a happy, good mindset, then you're going to give them positivity. So anyway, thinking about that. The next chapter is setting up your environment, and this is where it talks about the stones, it talks about water fountains, having the right music, diffusers. You guys know I like using my Alexa. I just like to be able to, if I'm bathing a dog, I can just yell to her real quick what I'm feeling, and you can just say, play calming music if you have something like that, or if you have Spotify, Pandora, whatever, just type in calming music, and it really does help. I really want to try the diffusers. I haven't personally tried that, and I haven't tried the water fountains, but I do have some stones. I just really like stones. Can't say if I feel either way, that they super do something or not, but I love them regardless. So, have those. Okay, so next chapter is about the animals. This talks about handling in seniors and puppies. Okay, I know I'm kind of rushing this video a little bit because I want to get it done before this guy gets here, but this is very, very important, this section. It talks about seizures, and I have this story that I've been wanting to share with you guys. When I worked at a previous job, I was working on this dog, and I was blow drying her, and all of a sudden, she peed and pooped everywhere, and she started doing this yell, this very synchronized, yell. And I just like kind of, I was so inexperienced at the time. I just kind of froze. I was like, like I knew something was wrong, but then my boss just kind of started yelling at me, like, get her out of the poop because, you know, she's clean. So, and she just kind of like yelled, and then, you know, we got the dog or whatever, and I was just like, oh my God, like, is she okay? Blah, blah, blah. And she said, yeah, they just do that sometimes. Like, really kind of belittled the situation, really kind of made me feel like an idiot, you know? She's like, because she looked at me and she's like, are you gonna cry about it? And I was like, no, I just feel like that was just so wrong, and I just don't know what happened. Well, I ended up figuring out before I left with her that that was a dryer seizure, and we should have immediately stopped the service. It talks about the dryer seizures in here. It describes that situation to a T. So we should have stopped the service. We should have done all these things, but since she didn't know, and I was also, she was training me, you know, so she didn't know, I certainly didn't know. And like I said, I ended up figuring out before I left there that it was a dryer seizure, and I actually told her about it, and she still was just kind of like, whatever. Like, I was like, hey, you know, I actually saw that dog that kind of freaked out during the drying. I saw that maybe that was a dryer seizure, and she just like let it roll off. Now, that's really dangerous because that dog just had a seizure. There are certain things that should happen after a dog should. If a dog has a seizure, you should be calling the owner, calling the vet, you know, talking to the owner, because to our knowledge, this dog didn't have a seizure history. So these were really important steps that were not followed. And I think about it all the time that, you know, I don't know if that dog still goes to her, or if you know, that's just so dangerous. So anyway, that situation, due to lack of education, could have been, that rhymed, but that's like not let's, you know, sometimes my brain gets like not serious in serious moments, and it's like, you know what, stay on track. Okay. So anyway, it made me think of The Fox and the Hound. Was it, education, something, I don't know if somebody knows what I'm talking about with The Fox and the Hound. Anyway, elimination, lack of education, isn't that what it is from Fox and the Hound? But it kind of still works though. Like, if you're not educated, you could have a dog pass in your salon. So that's why education is so important. But yeah, I think that's one of the most important things to know. CPR and first aid are so important. That's actually another thing I noted here, that this kind of tells you the basics of it. You do need to be taking your CPR and first aid classes every 2 years. You should just be doing a refresher. It's $100, but if it saves a dog's life, like, I mean, that's your reputation. You know what I mean? So that's very important. The next chapter, just moving right along here. The next chapter is the other end of the leash. This is talking about your customers, customer expectations, customer education and setting expectations. The quote, I'll do the best I can. Now, sometimes when you're saying that, I'll do the best I can, especially when we're talking about like a matted dog, sometimes your customer may be leaving thinking like, oh, well, they're still going to be fluffy, but you're thinking like, well, I'm going to have to shave it. So you just want to make sure you're on the same page. Try to avoid like kind of open-ended statements like that they could be taking it a different way. Just say, you know, they're going to be short or smooth today, so that they understand that when they come back, they're not going to have a fluffy haircut. So that's educating your customer, helping them understand the matting. I like to thoroughly make sure that somebody understands when I'm shaving and why I'm shaving every time I have to do it. It's a pretty rare occasion. It's typically with a new customer, because once I've had to shave a dog once, typically they'll get them on a better schedule. So just really educating that client as to why you have to shave them. And if they're not comfortable with you shaving them, then let them go. Let them go to another shop, because you know another shop's going to have to shave them too. And, you know, let them do their thing. But I personally haven't had anybody that's done that. But make sure that they understand you are shaving today. They're not going to leave fluffy. If you're shaving it, make sure they understand that. So next, it talks a lot about equipment and tools. I think this is really great if you're a shop owner and you have a newer groomer or newer bather. This section is really great for that. It breaks down each thing so that especially the newer people to the industry can understand each tool and what it's used for. The next chapter is products. It talks about decoding labels. I really liked this section talking about how to understand labels because that's something that's really not, I don't see taught often in the grooming world, but we do need to be understanding our labels and what we're putting on our dogs. The next thing is spa products. I really like this. This was upsales. This was talking about like mud masks, sugar scrubs, that kind of thing. Tells you how to make them, gives you little recommendations on stuff like that. So that's really awesome. The next is the business of being a business. This is some tips and tricks for a successful business. There's some marketing stuff and some stuff like that. So that's really helpful, especially to somebody like me that's in the process of starting my business. I really liked some tips in there, especially it talked about like gift certificates. It talked about like, you know, after so many visits, giving them like a free gift, even if it's an upcharge, like one of your spa things that I was just talking about, your mud masks, whatever. 10 visits, you get a free sugar scrub. You know, easy stuff like that that doesn't cost you a lot. The next chapter is marketing. It talks about your 9-second statements. So let me see if I can find that real quick because I thought that was really good. And definitely I would consider getting this book. I think there's just like a lot of really good information here that you can refer back to later as well. So this 9-second statement, an example is, well, it says like to give like a template, I guess. It says, I help, and then parentheses, the people you help, and who the people you solve who the problem you solve. So an example is, I help pet owners who are looking for a holistic, compassionate approach to grooming so they can feel confident about leaving their beloved pet at the groomers. It just has, like, you can see some different templates here. This would be really good to put, like, on your Facebook and stuff like that. Maybe even in your bio on your Instagram, something like that, you know. The next thing is manifesto. She used PicMonkey.com, Mary did, and Daryl used PowerPoint. So really you can do it wherever. If you already have PowerPoint or anything like that, you could just use that. It's pretty easy. And just Google how to do a manifesto. That's something I'll probably be doing later, and if it's worth making a video of, then I will do that. And then, yeah, it has some marketing tips and tricks for different platforms. Let's see, yeah, it talks about doing events and using social media and even doing like newspaper articles and stuff like that. It talks about different platforms too, so if you're really, really new to the technological side of things, it breaks down each site and what it's mainly used for. So, and then it talks about like blogs and newsletters and that kind of thing. So that's really awesome. And then finally, the last chapter is emergency or disaster planning. So this talks about your first aid kits and, you know, being prepared for the worst, because as we know, working with dogs, that's always a possibility. So the best thing to do is be prepared as you can. If an accident happens, you know, do what you can to rectify the situation and stop it from happening in the future. So, you know, accidents happen and that's okay. But you just gotta have planning for those kind of situations because you just never know. But yeah, so this is just like a really quick rundown of this book. I highly recommend getting it. I think it's a good read for everyone. I will be honest with you, the chapter about equipment and tools, I thought there was some good information in there. But if you know all the equipment and tools, I'll just be honest with you. That one was a hard one for me to read. It kept me hung up on it for a couple days because it's kind of like, yeah, I know what a kennel dryer is and I know what an overhead dryer is. But if you're a new groomer trying to learn all these things, I think it's fantastic. But I'm just saying, if you're a little bit more seasoned, you know what all the tools do. Lord. I'm like rushing and this guy is like not even on time. But I feel like if I don't rush, then he's going to pull up any second, and if I do rush, I'm going to finish it, and he's not going to be here for 30 more minutes. You just know how that goes. But anyway, yeah, I think there's just some really good information in this book. I think it's worth reading. Like I said, if you're a more seasoned groomer, you might be able to go ahead and skip the equipment section, unless it, like, I mean, there is some good tidbits in there. I did read it, but I'm just going to be honest with you, that chapter drug for me. But the rest of it, I thought there was some really good ideas in there. But yeah, I think it's a good book. $19.95. If you can, maybe go in with another groomer on it, you know, or maybe get it for your shop so that multiple people can read it. Because, you know, I will say as an avid book reader, $19.95 is a bit higher price point for a book, but it is educational, so, you know, it's a tax write-off, if anything, right? But all in all, it's a really great book. If you can, take a class by Miss Mary. She is fantastic. If I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure I learned CPR from her, CPR and first aid. I took it this past March in Atlanta, and it was really good. I feel really good about knowing what to do in case of an emergency, because when you work with dogs, emergencies are always a possibility. But yeah, check that book out. I saw a couple of you guys have already done that. I think that is amazing, and I give you guys credit for, you know, going ahead and getting it, because I think it's a really good book. I could tell by the first couple chapters in that it was going to be really helpful to a lot of people. So next I am reading Confessions of a Mad Dog Groomer. This one's more of a fun one. It's kind of like a rant book. I'm only a little bit in. You can see I haven't read too much. But let me see. I've still got this pulled up. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. But this one's more of like a fun one. If you just need a little rant section or some funny stories, that's pretty much what this one's about. This one's $15.95. I wouldn't say this is a must-have, but if you want like a fun read, check it out. You know, just if you want something fun and dog grooming related. I really want, after I read this one, I'm really wanting to get Jess Rona's Groomed. I see everybody with that. I love that Katy Perry it's her comment on the front. I don't know if you guys can see that. It says, Jess Rona is to dogs as Vidal Sassoon is to the bob cut. I love that. Especially coming from a cosmetology background. Vidal Sassoon, basically he revolutionized, when he came into the industry, it was all about the beehive haircut, and he took it from the beehive to the bob cut. He's who made the bob cut popular. So anyway, that's a really cool little tidbit there from Miss Katy Perry herself. If you don't follow Jess Rona by some chance, because she's huge, but go follow Jess Rona because she's freaking hilarious. I love her stories. She constantly makes me laugh. And just like look at the cover of that book. Is that not fantastic? Like, I need this in my life. And actually, it's not unreasonably priced. It's only $16. Like, I really might have to order that. I have a couple more things I need to buy first, but I want it. Anyway, check this book out. I didn't mean to just like throwing up everything at you. But yeah, check this one out. I can't give my full impression on this one right now. Oh, am I getting it? I'm getting a delivery. What's it gonna be? Do you guys want to stay tuned? Do you want to see what I'm getting? What am I getting? Watch it be something for my boyfriend. Here we go. You want to hear my alarm system? It's pretty good. I've got a pretty solid alarm system. You ready? Hey. Hush. I can pause it for 1 second. Okay, with any luck at all, this will be my full order from Love Groomers. They didn't actually send me any emails to let me know anything was on the way, so I got 1 out of 3 things I ordered like last week, and yeah, let's see if this is the rest of it. It is the rest of it, thank God. Okay, so this is very strange, but Love Groomers, I've been ordering from them for a little while. They've been sending this little bag of candy. Is that not the most random thing in the world to you? Because it is to me. Although I will say I love these little Tootsie Roll things, so I'm not completely opposed, but I just don't understand the, I kind of jam that in there, but the whole, like, put candy with the grooming supplies, is it just me? Okay, so this was actually the reason that I was most excited about seeing that FedEx man come up. Wow, okay. This is even better than expected. So I ordered the regular 5-in-1 blade because I actually really wanted this one, but it said they were out of it. Oh no, I think that's the neighbors, lawn people. Just watch and make sure. Watch my phone. Somebody just pulled up. Anyway, but I ordered the regular blade and they sent me the diamond one. So I'm not opposed because I think this one's actually more expensive. So heck yeah to that. Made it a little more worth it that my groom stuff was a little bit late. And then this, you guys have probably seen me use 1,001 times. Let me get off because I think this might be the electric guy. Alright, see you guys later. I'm so sorry, you guys. That was the electrician guy. So he came. He's really cool. He is going to get me an estimate later today. So that is awesome. Excited about that. So anyway, I feel like I just kind of glazed through this real quick. But yeah, I ordered the regular blade and they sent me the diamond blade, which I'm super excited because I was going to order this one. They said they were out of it and then they sent me this. So heck yes. Anyway, so next thing I ordered, you guys have seen me use 100 times. This is the quadruped all-in-one, all-in-one pour-on dematting undercoat remover, rapid drying aid, and leave-in conditioner. Yeah, oh my god, I was like, wow, does it really? Yeah, it does really say all of that. All right there. So this does a little bit of everything. It demats, it gets rid of undercoats. Lord, you guys, let me tell you, I am like the worst person in the world at rushing. That's why I'm not the 20 dogs a day groomer, okay? I'm like the 5 dogs a day groomer, depending on what we're talking about. I don't do good in rushing situations, okay? Anyway, so I like this because it also tells you different diluting ratios. So like for severe mats and to soothe irritated skin, you can use a 1-to-1 ratio. 4-to-1 is for undercoat removal, tangles, and slight matting. 7-to-1 is as a conditioner, moisturizer, or drying aid. Okay, and it says foaming is natural. Bubbles in the coat are not an indication of soap or residue. So that's kind of good to know too. But anyway, I use this on every dog. I really like it. It works on anyone's hair. I mean, anything from a Yorkie to a Husky, whatever. And you just do the different ratios. So for like a Yorkie, I'd probably do the 7-to-1. For a Husky, I'd do the 1-to-1. But yeah, so you got a little surprise unboxing in the end of this because the FedEx guy showed up at the right time. And oh my god, I just like can't get over the fact that they sent me this because I was so expecting to get the other one. So thank you to Love Groomers or whoever sent me this instead of the one I ordered because I literally think that this one is more expensive, like by like $10 or something. I've had both, the regular blade and then this is the diamond blade. This one has lasted so much longer. It stayed sharp a lot longer than the other one. So, really love this one. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here because it's kind of all over the place and it was really rushed and I'm so sorry. Because I think that this book is fantastic. The Holistic Pet is all on the floor now because I went outside and my dogs knocked my stuff everywhere, as per usual. But you know how it goes. I need a real coffee table. That's a big part of the problem is I'm using this tiny end table that's right next to my couch and my dogs end up like, I think they end up like standing on the end table sometimes. They must, the way they knock things down. But I've rambled on so long. So anyway, get your hands on this book if you can. Actually check the trade shows too. Maybe they sell it a little bit cheaper. Like I said, work with another groomer, each pay $10 and then get this book, whatever. I think it's a great book to have around your shop. I'm just like throwing this thing around so much, you know, I'm just overexcited, okay? Anyway, I'm gonna get off here, but thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this all over the place video, and we got new stuff. Yay! I'm excited to go back to work tomorrow because I needed this so bad. You guys know how much I use my Rivera. My blade was so dull, and it was catching on the hair, and it was driving me nuts. So I'm so excited to have this for tomorrow. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!